actually, perhaps the most remarkable instance of this in Calvin's letters is one that he wrote to Heinrich Bullinger in 1544. Martin Luther had at that time just written an inflammatory work entitled Short Confession Concerning the Supper. And this work of Luther's greatly dismayed and offended many in the Reformed churches, including both Calvin and Bullinger. Calvin, however, was clearly worried that Bullinger might react to Luther's work by really lashing out quite recklessly. And so this is what Calvin writes to Bullinger. He says, "I hear that Luther has at length broken forth in fierce invective, not so much against you as against the whole of us. On the present occasion, I dare scarce venture to ask you to keep silence, because it is neither just that innocent persons should thus be harassed, nor that they should be denied the opportunity of clearing themselves. But of this I do earnestly desire to put you in mind, that you would consider how eminent a man Luther is, and the excellent endowments wherewith he is gifted, with what strength of mind and resolute constancy, with how great skill, with what efficiency and power of doctrinal statement he hath hitherto devoted his whole energy to overthrow the reign of Antichrist, and at the same time to diffuse far and near the doctrine of salvation. Listen to this. He says, often I have been wont to declare that even although he were to call me a devil, I should still not the less hold him in such honor that I must acknowledge him to be an illustrious servant of God. But, he continues, while he is endued with rare and excellent virtues, he labors at the same time under serious faults. Would that he had rather studied to curb this restless, uneasy temperament, which is so apt to boil over in every direction. I wish, moreover, that he had always bestowed the fruits of that vehemence of natural temperament upon the enemies of the truth, and that he had not flashed his lightning sometimes also upon the servants of the Lord. Would that he had been more observant and careful in the acknowledgement of his own vices. But he concludes in this way, it is our part, however, so to reprove whatever evil qualities may beset him, as that we may make some allowance for him. At the same time, on the basis of these remarkable endowments with which he has been gifted. This, therefore, I would beseech you to consider that you have to do with a most distinguished servant of Christ, to whom we are all of us largely indebted. I wish that you would consider and reflect on these things rather than on what Luther has deserved by his violence. Even should he have provoked us, we ought to decline the contest. Aren't those extraordinary words? I sometimes think that I'm more in awe of John Calvin for writing that letter than for writing his entire Institutes of the Christian Religion, though I love his Institutes of the Christian Religion. What a man to write that, when he himself was under attack, as was Bullinger. And he was saying, just remember, this is a servant of the Lord who's been greatly gifted and greatly used. May that moderate and temper our response to what he's been saying.